Ember's little roar. In the heart of an ancient museum where the lights twinkled like stars and every corner held secrets, there was a hidden world, so small that most people would never even notice it. Tucked behind a tiny door in a massive bookshelf lived a little dragon named Ember. His scales shimmered in shades of pink and purple, glowing like the colors of a magical sunset. He wasn't big, but Ember had a brave heart and wings that sparkled like jewels. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Ember took to the skies of his miniature village, gliding above the rooftops as the warm rays of sunlight bathed his scales. He felt so alive, his heart beating with excitement as he soared higher and higher. It was a peaceful evening, or so he thought. Far away, in a cozy study lined with ancient artifacts, a wise old wizard named Professor Oakley sensed something was wrong. He was listening to the gentle hum of the artifacts on his shelves when he felt a tremor, a faint, uneasy feeling that darkness was spreading through the museum. With a sigh, Professor Oakley rose from his chair, his long, silvery hair flowing down like a river of moonlight, and walked toward the bookshelf where Ember's world was hidden. But the professor wasn't alone. Nearby, a young boy named Riker had been exploring the museum on his own. With messy brown hair and eyes full of wonder, he had stumbled upon the professor's study and hid behind a display, watching as the professor approached the tiny door. Riker had always been a curious kid, and the sight of an old wizard and a tiny door was too fascinating to ignore. Just then, Ember heard a knock on his little door. Startled but curious, he opened it to find the professor and the boy peering down at him. Ember's eyes sparkled with curiosity as he looked up at the towering figures. "Greetings, a young dragon," the professor said in a warm, deep voice. "I fear that a darkness is spreading within the museum, and it threatens not only our world, but the world outside as well." Ember's heart skipped a beat. "A darkness?" he repeated, his voice small but full of concern. "What kind of darkness?" Riker stepped forward, offering a reassuring smile. "Don't worry, little guy, we'll figure it out together." Ember felt a surge of courage at his new friend's words, and he nodded determinedly. "I'm ready to face whatever comes our way." With a knowing smile, Professor Oakley handed Riker a curious device, a blend of a compass and a lantern that glowed faintly in the dim light. "This enchanted torch will guide us through the darkness," he explained. "But beware, we're not the only ones wandering these halls tonight." The three of them ventured deeper into the museum, moving quietly through twisting corridors and shadowed corners. The air grew thick with the scent of old books and dust, and soon they reached the museum's great hall of exhibits. But something was wrong. The magical artifacts, once so full of light and wonder, now lay shrouded in darkness, their beauty hidden beneath a layer of shadow. A faint whisper echoed through the hall. "Don't let the shadows claim the light," it murmured, sending a chill down Ember's spine. But instead of fear, Ember felt his heart blaze with resolve. With Riker's adventurous spirit beside him and the professor's guiding wisdom, he knew they could face the darkness together. Ember took a deep breath, his green eyes gleaming with determination. He let out a tiny roar, as fierce as he could muster, And in that moment, his scales began to glow brighter. With a flash of bravery, the light from Ember's scales cut through the shadows, driving them back. Riker raised the enchanted torch, and together they moved through the hall, restoring light to each artifact they passed. Bit by bit, the shadows receded, and the hall returned to life, filled with sparkling artifacts and shimmering colors. The museum felt alive again, as if it were breathing a sigh of relief. With the darkness banished, the three friends shared a triumphant smile. The miniature world and the museum beyond were safe once more. Ember returned to his village with his heart aglow, his wings humming a gentle lullaby as he flew under the stars that twinkled over the museum, a beacon of magic and wonder in the night.